Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my nail mail haul video from last week. We're going to be swatching some of the new Born Pretty polygels I got. We're going to be testing out the new molds, and then we're going to have some fun and play around with some nails. Oh, and the winner of the giveaway.
Give it to me like...
Hello. Welcome to another video on my channel. So, this is the remaining stuff from my nail mail haul in last video. So, okay, these are actually a base and a top coat that I got a little while back. So I'm just putting those aside because I'm going to use them with the new molds. So if you remember, this is the mold that we're going to be testing some of these polygels out in. So it was, there's 2 images in different sizes on each of the nails. One of them is of a pharaoh. So it's like the headdress, the pharaoh headdress that goes on the sarcophagus. And the other 2 are the goddess Bast, so the cat goddess head images. So we're really swatching the polygels, using the molds and testing them at the same time. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start here with this one. It is, so it says extension gel, it doesn't actually say polygel. I think polygel is an actual brand name. It's like the equivalent of saying Kleenex, right? So it does say extension gel on here. So this one is ABO6. So I'm just going to put it in here. This one I'm going to put it in one of the mini pharaoh heads or head pieces. So this one is a clear, but it's a clear with opalized pieces in it. So I did do a set on myself a few videos back where I use this exact extension gel. So I squeezed a little bit into that little pocket of the mold, and then I have my brush and my dampen dish with a little bit of alcohol that I use as a slip solution, and I'm just smoothing out the polygel here because it is pretty sticky and thick. It's easy to push out of the tube, but you do have to work a little bit to smooth it out. So the second one I have here is a little bit of a darker sparkle. Actually, it's a much darker sparkle and a heavier sparkle. So this is AB07. It has a lot of silver and a little bit of like blue pieces, but you can see in there, like there's not very much clear to this one. So much darker, and you can kind of see the different sort of tones there in the actual mold. One is a very light opalized sparkle, and this one is just packed, filled with sparkles and hollows. And so this one, it's only a little bit harder to work with in this mold because there's so much going on in the extension gel. So, but I'm still using my alcohol slip solution to just smooth that out in the mold. Okay, so our third extension gel is AB11. And this one is very similar to the silver sparkle that I just did. It's very thick. It's packed, filled with I can't say sparkles today for some reason. It's packed with sparkles and hollows and just different sizes and pieces in there. So again, you can kind of see it there, but you do need your slip solution, and you do need to work it a bit just to make sure that it's smooth. So I'm just pushing it into all of the little sections of the mold, making sure to get the ears and get it deep inside there before I cure. Okay, and then our last extension gel is AB10. And this one is a baby pink shimmer extension gel. It's actually very pretty. Again, it's a little, okay, it's definitely sticky, but it's easier to work with because there's not so much going on. It's a very light shimmer in this baby pink. And this one actually ends up turning out the best in these molds. So while the extension gels are beautiful, they're all beautiful, the baby pink one works the best here. Okay, so we've got our new extension gels fitted into this really fun mold. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cure this. So I just pop that into the lamp for about 2 minutes, and I'm just tapping it to see if it makes that nice click click noise, just to make sure it's cured. And then I'm going to take a base coat and I'm going to coat the back of them to sort of seal in the poly gel. Okay, so while that is curing, I'm working on the other molds. Now these molds I was a little bit worried about. Wasn't sure how they were going to work. So what I did was I took a little bit of the Born Pretty, those jelly sort of nudie colors. So I did like the purple and the blue. So here I'm just painting in this cute little butterfly wing. And here, so this is the one that has like all those like kind of Baroque period, you know, little deco pieces. There's like some bohemian looking flowers. So these ones are actually a little bit more difficult to work with because there's so many little pieces to it. But I just did the same thing just to test out how it would actually work with the gel polish. So just painting it in. I'm going to do 2 on this one. I did 1 on the other. They are cured, and then I base coat the back to seal as well. Okay, so they are all out of the lamp. I've base coated the back to do that little, it gives like a, almost like a shrink wrap around the back of the piece that you're going to affix to the actual nail. So now I am popping these beauties out of the first mold. So you can already see that this one actually looks amazing. Like you can actually see all the little pieces to it, and all the different facets in the mold. So I really loved that one, and that was the baby pink AB10. It was with it's a baby pink with some shimmer in it. Now this was the first one that I did, the Opalized clear, and it's a little harder to actually see the facets in that one. And then we have these 2. So these are the Bast images. So you can get an idea of what the actual extension gel looks like. It's beautiful. All the colors are beautiful. But to use them in the molds, you lose all the facets of the design. So now these ones actually worked. Like to my surprise, these actually worked very well. So this is the fairy wing, or the butterfly wing, angel wing, whatever, dragonfly wing, whatever wing you want it to be. And you can see all the facets in there. Like, it's very thin. It's almost like a sticker. I think this one is a little bit thicker because the base coat I put on the back, I did a little bit of a thicker. So this one's actually a little sturdier than the other two. But they did work very well. So, like, it looks exactly like the mold. Now, these ones were a little more difficult to peel because there's just so much detail to some of these designs. And these ones came out a little bit thinner, but that base coat on the back does help. It does help to like shrink wrap the actual design to sort of seal it in, and it helps with like pulling it out as a solid piece. So I did one in the purple and I did one in the blue just to give you an idea of what they would actually look like. Okay, the pink, baby pink shimmer. That is the winner as far as our molds go. You can clearly see that it is a pharaoh head. And the other ones, while they're gorgeous as far as the color goes, they just don't work for this type of mold. You want something that is a solid color or has most of a solid color in it so that you can actually see like what the facets are in the design. So those kind of just look like a big mishmash of a mess of gorgeous sparkles, but you can't actually see what the design is. So like I could see some kitty ears, that's about it. But yeah, like these are all amazing. My execution just needs a little bit of tweaking, but otherwise these are all amazing. So I'm going to top coat our nail and get it ready for the design. Okay, so for this one, I cured it after I placed it on the top coat, and then I went around and sealed the edges underneath with the top coat and cured again. Okay, so we've got our Born Pretty gem gel, and then these are those rhinestones. They're the faceted light pink rhinestones. I'm going to play around with these as well. So I'm just transferring them over, and then let's take a look at what these babies look like. So these are very pretty, beautiful for spring. I thought I could use them because that baby pink shimmer is very light, and I've got that jelly purple on the nail. So I thought these would make a very pretty addition for some gemstones to add to the design. So I'm just trying to flip them over and give you a good view of what they actually look like. So now this is a gem gel that I use. So I'm just going to pick a little bit up here, and I'm just putting it down here at the bottom at the cuticle area, because this is where I'm going to place all of our gems. So I've got my little picker upper here, and I really had no preset design of what I was going to do. I just wanted to keep the color scheme matching as best as possible. So I was trying to put the big one there in the middle, but there was a little bit of extension gel from the actual mold that was kind of sticking up a bit, so it was making it difficult, so I had to adjust. Yeah, so just having some fun with the rhinestones. I also got some caviar beads out, So once I had placed all of my gems, I cured it under the lamp to make sure they'd stop moving. And then I just took my liner brush and my Russian top coat, and I'm just sealing in all these little areas, and I'm actually going over the gems so that they don't move. And then once that's sealed in, I'm grabbing my caviar beads and I am placing them in some of those open spaces just to sort of complete the gem placement. So just adding a little bit of accents. So it's great working with the liner brush because you can actually pick up all the beads properly and place them and actually move them around because they're just so light. It's much harder to pick these up using our little gem picker upper. Regardless of what side I use, this is a much easier way to do it for me. So if I want to place them, sure, I can use this piece, but like this, ideally you can pick up like 2 or 3 at a time. You can place them, move them around with ease. And I'm just making sure that they're all sitting where I want them to be. And then once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to cure. Okay guys, we did a giveaway last video, so I want to thank Shadow Diane. Thank you so much for playing along and commenting. You have won the liner brushes. So these brushes they're beautiful. They're beautiful to look at. They're nice to use. So I'll put these instructions again in the description box, but please send me a direct message with your information and details, and I will get these out to you as soon as possible. And here we have our finished nail. So again, just using some of the things that we got in the mail last time, and playing around with those molds and swatching our new extension gel. So this again is the AB10 by Born Pretty. It's a baby pink shimmer. The molds worked beautifully. Totally a win. The only thing I would do different is I might not cover all of the gems with the top coat because you do lose the facets. They still look pretty. They actually kind of shimmer a little more. But yeah, you don't get those facets anymore. The facets totally disappear when you cover them. So, but molds were a win. Extension gel, beautiful. Very happy. And there we have it, guys. So again, thank you at Shadow Diane. Congratulations. I'll get those brushes out to you. As always, thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys next time.